Okay, in this problem number 11, we have Marvin saved dimes and quarters in his piggy bank to buy a gift for his mother. Maybe he's buying her, I don't know, a nice pack of Pokemon cards or something really nice. He counted his savings and organized the information in a table, as one does. So this problem really helps you out because it gives you the table to start with. And it's very similar to the one we just did in number 9. Number 9? Yes, number 9, if you watch that video. It says, if he saved $11, how many dimes and quarters did Marvin have? If you're wondering where any of these numbers are coming from in here, 0.10, that's the value of a dime, 0.25, value of a quarter. So it tells us there are X dimes and X minus 12 quarters. Alright, so how are we going to set this up? Well, we want to find an expression for the value of the dimes and quarters, because they tell us how much the total value should be 11. Let's find an expression to match that. Okay, so to find the value of all the dimes, well, imagine we had, I don't know, 15 dimes. Well, 15 dimes at 10 cents each. Most of you can shoot right back at me. All right, 15 times 10 cents. Tell me exactly how much that'll be. This is the same concept. You're taking the 10 cents times X. So 0.10 for dollars, $0.10 or 10 hundredths. You get 0.10 times X, which can just be written as X. Next thing, we're multiplying 0.25, 25 cents, times X minus 12. And you gotta be careful here. Remember, you're not just multiplying X minus 12 like this. You have to have parentheses, because otherwise you're only multiplying on some of those quarters and not the others. All right, so you want to multiply on the whole thing. All right, and just like in the last problem, I got the value of my dimes, got the value of my quarters. To find an expression for the value of all of them total, you got to add them up. 0.10x plus 0.25 x minus 12. So I just took this and added this to it. Now we could probably, at this point, we probably could simplify this expression a little bit, but actually let's get it to be an equation first, because we can always simplify even when it's an equation. Okay, so what's it going to be equal to? Well, this is the value of all the dimes and quarters, and this is a number for that value, right? So $11. It's going to be exactly the same. All this is going to equal 11. We just don't know what X is. Once we know what X is, we can plug it in and we'll get 11. So let's solve this equation, but first we got to simplify the left side. We've seen equations like that where you have to simplify on one side first, and this is one of them. So first thing we're going to do, anytime we see parentheses, we want to get rid of them, so we got to distribute. Multiply. This 0.10x is just along for the ride. 0.25 times x is that. And then remember, it's a positive times a negative, so we're going to have a minus. And 0.25 times 12 is 3. So we have minus 3. Now there's more simplifying we can do here, because we notice we have two like terms, two terms with x's on them. So we add those together. You end up with 0.35x, 3500x, minus 3, still equal to 11. Now that looks about as simple as I can make it. So at this point, you're going to start solving. First thing you're going to do, add that 3 on each side. You're going to get 14, and all that's left here is 0.35x. Next step, divide by 0.35. Cancels. You can get x, squeeze it at the bottom here, is equal to, let's check the calculator, 14 divided by 0.35, 40. Okay, great. Now we have to ask ourselves if we're done. Most problems, when you get x, you think, yeah, you're done. But let's look at the question. It says, how many dimes and quarters did Marvin have? Well, x just represented the amount of dimes. Okay, so to finish this problem off, we have x equal to 40. So the dimes are equal to X. We know that from the table, which is 40. Great, we have 40 dimes. Okay, we know that much. Now for the quarters, from the table we know we have X minus 12. So we have to use that value of X now, which is 40. Subtract 12 from it, and we're going to get 28 quarters. And you can check that by figure out how much 40 dimes is worth, how much 28 quarters is worth. Add them together, you're going to get $11.